Red alert, RBT, snaps and chats. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the show today. Today is Monday, March the 3rd. Hope you all enjoying that the springtime is coming. Daylight savings
Yes.
is right around the corner. Today, we're going to be talking about bridging the gaps between people. Got an interesting guest here today, but I'm going to let you know I got Tameka Thompson of Buford Thompson over
Hey.
here, my co-host. And then over here, I got Mr. Literacy Made Fun. Say hi to the people.
Peace
What's
and
up?
blessings.
All right, all right. So, we're gonna get into the meat of the sandwich right now by talking about different things about why things are separated, why we're separated, why
Right.
there's a gap, why there's a gap between everything. There's a gap in age. We talked about that last week.
Right.
There's a gap in communities. There's a gap in race. There's a gap in just society itself, So we want to be able to bridge the gap. And I'm going to ask my special guest a few questions here, if you will. But right now, I'm going to have him introduce himself today to you.
I'm Mr. Literacy Made Fun, also known as the voice of the people, Holy Spirit on the track hit. We represent the new GM, God's Mafia. I am unemployed, volume 1, coming soon.
All right.
Yeah, it's coming soon.
All right. So today I got you on the show because I met you about a week or so ago, and we talked about some interesting things.
Yes, ma'am.
And most of the things we talked about, we agree on a lot is basically bridging the gap between people.
Yes, ma'am.
Right.
You've come up with a lot of collective, creative ways that can assist people with that. Can you name, let the viewers know a little bit of those things?
Well, one of the things is I founded specialized alternative entertainment. So the goal is to be an alternative to the typical entertainment, or pretty much what we have been conditioned to put out there. And it's no judgment, if somebody can take a negative and turn it to a positive and it can benefit the community and they family, that's cool. But I just was the alternative to the entertainment that's out right now. So one of the ways is definitely through music, but the main way is I created my card game, and it's called Preach with 2 H's. And Preach, it's the type of game that can take your mind to another level. It allows you to bridge the gap to discuss controversial topics in a non-controversial way.
Okay.
So that's why I put
And I had an
rules in there.
opportunity to see those
Okay.
cards, and it was really interesting.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, it
Okay.
was. So
I purchased some of your cards on I think it was a Back to Bricks event.
Yes, ma'am. I
Yes.
appreciate that.
Oh my
All right. See,
gosh.
look at
Yes,
that
ma'am.
networking
Okay,
at
yes.
its best.
Yes, ma'am. I
Back to the
appreciate it.
Bricks is started to, start display
Right.
a lot
Yes,
of
ma'am.
talent here too. So
Yes, ma'am.
that's good. I'm glad our city is finally starting to look us a
Flint
little
is
bit.
coming. Flint downtown is really building. If people haven't had the opportunity to get down here, they should. I have a shop in 100K
Okay.
ideas in that building,
Yes, ma'am.
and if you have products for sale, they'll let you get that space
Okay.
for free.
Wow.
So I get sales, and they send me a check,
That's love.
So but there are so many different opportunities now.
Yes, ma'am.
We have the Brush Alley Fest.
Yes,
We have
ma'am.
so many different festivals for us to have those type of
Yes, ma'am.
opportunities. And that's funny. As soon as you pull those up, I'm like, I do
Yeah,
remember
they're
you.
really cool too.
I
I
appreciate
got
that.
a
They
pack. I bought me one and I looked at them and checked them out. I like that.
Yeah. Okay.
Tameka,
Appreciate
so can you tell the viewers a little bit about what you do?
Okay.
I know
So
you're on the show a bit, but we don't talk much about what you do. But
okay.
we're bringing light to these things today.
Okay, so by trade, I'm an engineer. I've been in engineering and automotive engineering for over 30
Wow.
years. But I had a huge life change. My husband got terminally ill and passed away about 18 months ago, and I had to shift and pivot and understand who I was. So to cope with it, I started journaling, and then I started blogging, but because I thought, maybe other people do, are going through the same thing. So like
Networking.
motivational and cleansing. And with that, I'm a coach and a mentor. So I started coaching internationally for the Women Automotive Network. So I coached 2 women
Wow.
out of Great Britain, and there was one in London, 2 people internationally, and saw great progress with that. So I expanded my coaching. With that, I just started reaching out to women going through
ma'am.
anything,
Yes,
going
ma'am.
through type of, who want to pivot in their lives. So, I I told Terralisa, I said, I'm going to write a book, and I published some works. And she said, I want to publish my poetry. And so I started helping women publish their books.
Yes,
so I've been doing that for the past year or so. But I by my heart is a coach and a mentor. And I found that truth in me in my automotive role as a director and a manager, just helping people. I think my gift that God gave me is helping others.
That's amazing.
So,
that is. And
yeah.
as we all sit here today and understand a little bit about the works of life that we all do, we can still find that common denominator
Yeah.
that what we're doing is bridging the gap between people.
Yes.
Whether it be, again, motivating them, uplifting them, encouraging them, giving them a more fun way to look at things in life,
right.
to make themselves better, to be the better you.
Right.
'Cause that's the main thing we want to do.
Absolutely.
You want to be the better you. Well, for me, I like to motivate other people too. You know, I use my intellect with words to uplift people, make them feel good about themselves.
Mhm.
But it also gives me a good feeling too, because then I know that I just made somebody's day.
Yes.
If I can get a good smile out of you, then I know I've done something right.
Absolutely.
Because I want to, as you said a minute ago, walk in love.
Yes.
Everything I
Yes.
do, I want to walk in love, and I want to make sure that I display and spread the same love to other people,
Yes,
because
ma'am.
that's what I want back to me.
Absolutely.
So, you know, I haven't dropped any poetry in a little bit, but we're going to get to that, you know. But I want to ask a question to my special guest here. Why do you feel it's important to bridge gaps between people?
Well, one of the reasons I feel it's important is because I realize a lot of time the connection, the gap is because a person more than likely is looking at you for who you used to be, or who they think you is, or for some
Yes.
preconceived notion of what this person should be,
Absolutely.
instead of who you are. So the only way to do that is about your display, and it's normally your communicative skills. I'm just being honest. Even though
Yeah.
you
That
know
is
it
true.
ain't just about talking, it's about walking it, but your communicative skills and your energy can pretty much give a person what they need to be able to decipher on, you know, who this
Okay.
person is.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they prejudge you off of that.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
We kind of had that conversation.
We had this, you know what, that was our conversation in our podcast last week.
Mhm. See,
That people
This is
see you
life.
for who they think you are,
Yes.
or who you
out of
used
their
to be.
glass,
Yes,
out of their
ma'am.
lenses.
Out
what
of
you
their
said.
lenses.
Yes, ma'am.
Yep.
Yeah, you know, give us a call, y'all, 248-820-5053. We want to know what you got to say about this, how you feel. Turn my light back on, please. That was only when
Yeah.
A Double Trouble's on the show, then we turn it off. It stays on. The plug over there. It's on the plug. Yeah.
Okay.
But anyway, so that was a good answer. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Tameka, have you ever experienced separation from others? Like mental separation, physical separation, emotional separation? That's only for Anthony when I turn it off.
So you want the light on the whole time? I got you.
Yes, sir. I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
I have experienced when you're redefining yourself, you
Good
have
word,
to
yes.
have to isolate yourself from others. So I've had to break. First of all, losing my husband was the biggest break, because I had always been a wife. For 27 years, I had been a wife. So I had to redefine myself in that way. And then
Redefine.
I also had to redefine myself amongst my friends and my family. I was a person that everyone went to. I was always a shoulder that other people cried on, and I didn't have that in me anymore. So I had to understand what I wanted and who I wanted to be, and I needed that separation and isolation to do that.
Wow.
And I'm still learning it, right? Every day is
You're
a
only
learning
human.
process.
Right.
Yeah.
If you don't learn something new every day, something's wrong.
Yeah.
But that's a great way of putting it. But I'm going to ask you, Don, how have you ever experienced separation from others, like mentally, physically, emotionally?
Well, yeah, definitely. But by choice, or
Either way.
Either way.
well, by choice, I'm gonna go with that one. Definitely. So it was a time that I was like, man, everything was flowing. You know, I got a transformative perspective. I'm educating myself. Life is just looking good. I'm prospering in all areas of my life. I'm empowering others to prosper. It's just beautiful. I'm enjoying the experience of life.
Yeah.
And then so much stuff just got to happen. You know, it ain't got nothing to do with just Flint. You know, it happened all over the world, but we got, you know, family members getting shot and this war. Mama got cancer. It's just so much going on. So my mental health slipped. Like I said, I'm a man of God and not in a religious way. It's a non-judgmental intimacy with God. That ain't got nothing to do with legalism. And my mental health slipped. I was in a different mode. Like I said, I might have been around the time I had that burqa on. Yes.
You're able to admit that.
So I'm next thing you know, I'm drifting. I'm popping bottles. I'm talking about I'm all over the place. I'm on low self. And I had to bounce back. So what I had to do is I had to separate myself. Even in my integrity, I separated myself from the community. I shut the business down temporarily. I just separated myself from everybody. And I focused on my mental health. I focused back on my intimacy with God. And I focused back on my foundation. And I presented myself back to the community and to the world as the best version of myself. So,
okay.
Man, I like that.
So how do you do that? Because there are a lot of people out here who are suffering, who are having mental breaks.
Yes, ma'am.
And they don't know how, they don't have the strength, they don't have the access. So how do you do
the ingenuity to do it?
Right.
You know, they don't have that confidence to do it.
Yes.
That's where it all comes from.
Yes.
A little bit pieces.
Yourself. You have to be strong within yourself to
to
heal yourself.
To
you got to be like you have to not be scared to
Big Tone in the studio audience.
You know, that you're dealing with.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes they might be bad feelings, but you got to look at yourself in the mirror and learn how to deal with that stuff.
Yes,
yourself.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's 100%. How you become strong.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
You know?
But to separate yourself, basically to better yourself and pull yourself away from certain individuals, certain people. I was just mentioning today that I myself had to pull myself back from a lot of things and a lot of people. And when I thought that I was hurt behind it, but I felt better behind it as the days went on because I saw more doors opening for me.
Yeah.
I saw more avenues I can go down.
Yeah.
I started accompanying myself around other people who wanted the same thing as I, who walked in the same walks as I did.
Right.
And I'm very happy that I did that. But to go through that process was very upsetting.
Right.
And you're right. You got to figure out a way.
I remember some phone calls that almost sent you back.
I didn't have. Hey, I called my pastor one time. I was ready to give up on a lot of things. I've called my daughter. Maybe that's what you need to do. Reach out to people who actually care.
Right.
You know, just like y'all reach out to us. Let us know what y'all thinking. 248-820-5053. We had Out of the Mud Inc. on this beautiful Monday with George F. Grundy II and James Mayfield, the greatest Mayfield. These guys making it happen. I'm telling you, we do this all through the week. 7 days, right? People here 7 days a week.
Almost. We have schedules for 7 days a week.
All right.
So we're
scheduled for 7 days a week, making it happen on this platform. So y'all tap in, like, share, and subscribe, and give us a call. Let us know what you're thinking. So, Tameka, when did you make the decision to really be the better version of you? Something had to. I know you had these life experience with your husband. I know you had this setback from separation and getting yourself together. But what was the real decision that you made? I mean, I know what mine was. I'll go. Well, go ahead. Mine was that, and I said this before, and I'm starting to be more comfortable saying it. I know how I grew up. I watched what my parents did with their friends in the home. And then I grew up and repeated that in my home. And I'm not ashamed of it. But I am glad that I was smart enough to actually see myself in this way and then do it better. So to be a better version of myself so that my grandchildren can look at me differently than what I did when I looked at my grandmother and grandfather.
That's right.
I want to see that happen. And I think that would be the biggest foundation change in my family.
Right.
That's me learning to break the chain and break the cycle.
Okay.
100%.
So that's mine.
Amen.
So now what would you say?
I always wanted to be the person that I needed when I was growing up.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I needed coaching and guidance. I needed someone to, point me in the right direction, to put me in the right network, and I never had that. I always say I'm a black engineer, but if I would have known that black girls could be astronauts, that's what I would have been.
Okay.
But no, I didn't have anyone in my life to say you can do whatever you want to
That's
do. So I always want to be that person, and I don't want to be someone who discourages kids. Like, I think that's where we need to start with our kids. So I am very much
on that too.
Yeah, I am very much dedicated to helping the children.
Yes, indeed. It's beautiful.
How about you, Mr. Literacy Made Fun?
You said around what time? It's interesting because for me, all the way up to the age of 26, I was perishing from a lack of knowledge. It was just bad situation.
Perishing from a lack of knowledge.
Yeah, perishing from a lack of knowledge. It was just, you're trying to figure it out and you steady bumping your head. I'm freestyling, trying to figure out life, and it just don't work like that. Like you said, somebody got to give you these life skills.
Right.
Somebody got to teach you about EQ and not just IQ, because I could go to school and get a degree and still be crazy as hell.
Yes.
So I got to have EQ, so I got to have emotional regulation skills and know how to deal with people, understand boundaries, individuality, all these things. So I read my first book at the age of 26, and it was The Love Languages.
Oh.
And I always wanted to love, like really, but I didn't know what love was. But when I read about that love, I'm like, hold on, it got to be a love bigger than that. And that's when I found out about God's love, but it's unconditional love.
Right.
So next thing you know, I started educating myself. I just became like a bookworm.
Mm-hmm.
And I started finding out things about me. I started to find my identity. And it was like, it just empowered me. It gave me individuality.
Wow.
I love that.
What I mean?
I do too.
Yeah.
I'm a reader.
That might be something a lot of listeners needed to hear right there.
Yes, ma'am.
That's something different. I haven't
that.
heard anybody put it that way. That's very interesting. To find yourself, you started getting your own knowledge.
Yes, ma'am.
Wow.
Yes, ma'am.
Going to a question about what you just said. You said you were what age when you read your first book?
26.
26. Wow. Now, was that because you didn't read books, or that was when you became literate?
Well, I actually just never read a book. I didn't have books on me. Like I'm at Central, and the teacher like, hey, open this book up. And I opened the book up, and I'm like, I don't see what chapter you talking about. And she like, well, if you had the right book in your hand, I'm like, oh, I ain't coming back to class now. I'm out of here. You know what I mean? I'm never coming back. I'm embarrassed. I already was high. So yeah, I just never read books, and I didn't have a lot of information on my hard drive.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So
that
I
interest have a lot of
came
information
at 26 to do that.
Yes, sir.
Gotcha.
Wow. I hope y'all listening is. I wish I would chime in 248-820-5053. Yes, he is.
Yes.
This is some real knowledge right here. And I'm very thankful that you
I appreciate both
decided to come on the show. So, I always usually start with a poem, and most of the time I open up the book and whatever the good Lord tell me to read is right there, and it usually fit the program. But that just happened today. And this is from my first book, that the one I don't promote that much. Which one is that?
The diary.
The diary, my cousin called it. Okay, so this poem was called an untitled poem. Now keep in mind, I was really young when I wrote these poems. Untitled. Word to the wise. Believe in yourself. Never expect to be encouraged by those who calculate your every move. They are an understatement, full of bad vibes to weaken your strength and the ground you walk on.
Woo, baby. You better, girl, that's that anointing.
That's right.
You know what? That's right on time.
That's right.
That's the truth.
All I did was, you
that's
saw
right
me
on
open
time.
this book.
Yes.
I didn't turn no other page. I just looked down the page and there it was. Thank you. Thank you, Father God. Yep, just but most of the time, and that's like even in service, if whatever the pastor his sermon is about, I'm gonna say 98% of the time my poetry is hand in hand. And when you told me that one day that I'm in alignment, and I didn't really understand what you were saying till I started seeing and hearing things, and I was like, okay, well, I must be on the right track and the right path.
Right.
I've met great people who are on the same path.
Yes.
To bridge the gap with people. That's all I want to do. I'm not trying to get rich. I'm not trying to do anything that the next person, well, maybe, because other people are trying to do things slick. I ain't trying to be slick.
Right.
I just want to be fair to people, honest and just. That's who I've always been all my life.
Right.
I've never changed. I even in my days when I drank and really drank, I never changed on anybody.
That's true.
I've never was different. I never tried to put down somebody, belittle
That's
somebody
right.
for what they did, but it was because of my own lifestyle,
Right.
my separation,
Right.
my mental, that I decided to walk away from that.
Right.
But I'm a grown woman. I can do it if I want to, but I chose not to. I wanted to be better, clear my mind, clear my body. That's why I stopped taking blood pressure medicine too. And you all heard that story a couple weeks ago.
Oh, yeah.
I know that it's dangerous, but I did it because it was the spirit, the divine told me I didn't need that medicine anymore. It showed me I didn't, and I stopped. And till this day, my blood pressure is still at a medium norm. It ain't the 120 over 80 is perfect, but it's 135 over 88.
Okay. Okay.
And I ain't taking no medicine. So
that's right.
It can be done, but you got to change the way you eat. You got to change, I stopped drinking. So that was a big part of that. You got to make sure that you're being more healthy. Now, I can't wait to get back on my bike though. You ride a bike?
I run. I like to run.
Oh, okay.
You got a bike, don't you?
No, I gave my bike away. Yeah, I gotta give me one.
Yeah,
because all the people
need to go bike riding.
around the neighborhood ride.
A regular riding with the kids on the bikes, but for exercise, I like to jog.
I like
really?
to jog down here by Kettering. I
That's
love
right.
that. I love that bike trail.
Peaceful.
It's nice and peaceful. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Hey,
it makes Hurley Hospital look like woo. When you walking through there, it's beautiful.
I'm telling you, the other day I was riding down the street. And I looked up at the old part of Hurley. Okay. And all them old memories came back from Stevenson School and Door Rider. And I was like, man, they really have tacked on a lot here.
They have.
Yeah.
And that many sick people, ill people. Now the way the economy going, they're going to have to probably sell part of the building for something else, a hair salon or something. They people Medicare and stuff, from what I'm hearing.
Right.
I don't watch the news, y'all, so forgive me for if I'm a little illiterate about the news. I don't watch the news. I just hear what people tell me. And again, I try to make light out of things so I don't be sad about it or stressed.
Right. We're working on that.
Wow.
That's a good word.
Mr. Literacy Made Fun, tell me one thing that motivates you.
One of the things that motivate me, honestly, is just my perspective. I truly believe that, because I don't miss it. It's like, I'm grateful to be alive and free. Like, that's my foundation.
Yeah.
Like everything else, I'll figure it out.
Okay.
And that's my energy. Like that uplifts me, because I know so many people that then passed away. And it ain't just from the frivolous killings.
Amen.
It's just from elderly, everybody. I remember when Hurley used to let us come in there and see the kids on the third floor. That's why I tell people I don't like complaining, because we somehow back in my day, even though my early childhood development was off, but I got blessed because I was able to go in there and see those young kids with cancer, and they were so happy. They eating popsicles and everything. They dancing and they happy. And I'm like, so just thinking of that type of stuff, like, man, I'm just happy to be alive and free. And that starts me, and that motivates me to my next motivations and my next, reasons and my whys.
How about you two? Oh, go ahead. Live audience speaking.
Did your past and things that you went through, did that get you to that point to where, like, now I'm just happy for just breathing?
Yeah, the work I put in myself, the decisions I made, because on both sides of the family, I don't know nobody that feel that way. We ain't never had these conversations. This articulation was never there. Like, people move, it is. They ain't judging nobody, but everybody on tip. Everybody moving and grooving. Even the solid guy, they was solid. They doing the best they can with what they got. But they ain't on that type of time. They ain't talking like that. They might drop a couple jewels on you, but they ain't. It don't seem like they feel that way. And if you look at the decisions we make, and technically, if I'm serious, if I'm grateful to be alive, I'm gonna treat myself a certain way.
Right.
I'm gonna, you know what I'm saying? So
grateful.
Nope. I don't think it was the decisions I made in my past and the work I, did on myself and my intimacy with God. That's it right there. Really, that's where it all started, and that's what keep me where I'm going. And that's what it was. It was the work. It was the decisions I made and the work I put in. Yeah.
Very, very well said.
So one of the conversations that I tend to have is that I was raised on survival. I wasn't really raised on love, and I'm not saying that my family and didn't love me, but it wasn't. I wasn't raised on love. I was raised on survival, and in that mode, it almost causes a stress, right? because you're always thinking about what do I need to do to survive.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not in survival mode anymore.
Okay.
And I'm gonna tell you, I probably was in survival mode for 45 years.
Understood.
Wow.
But I'm starting to live in the now, because no matter how stressed out you are about what's gonna happen in the future, we all have an ending point. So enjoy what you have now.
Amen.
And I'm learning that, that I'm learning to live in the now.
That's beautiful.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's great. What motivates me is that I have the opportunity to wake up and think about what I can do to make a difference. Not just for myself, but for other people.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
When I took care of my grandmother during her last days, I had help, my other family members stepped in or whatever. But before she really got sick, I still did a lot of extra ripping and running and doing things for her. Right. So every day I woke up, it was a motivational thing for me to make her happy, to do something to make myself happy. So I didn't feel like, I got to go over here today and deal with this.
Right.
And then when I get there, I don't want to feel bad because she can't do it for herself. So I motivated myself to say, I'm better than the situation that's before me.
Absolutely.
And I decided that at that time that's when I was going to start making a difference. And I started doing a chant that I say a lot too. Today is better than yesterday, because yesterday was better than the day before. So each day I take it one day better.
Yeah.
One day great.
Yep.
One day the best. I might fall back down 2 notches. Because you're going to get knocked down. This world is crazy.
That's right.
Something's going to knock you down and get you stressed out.
That's right.
You all know how I talk. I had a whole little level section on stress. For every level, there's a devil. And I'm not saying the devil in itself. I mean, it could be a bill that you can't pay. It could be somebody that's been nagging at you or bothering you or harassing you.
Yes.
It can be somebody that's, being a little extra nosy in your business. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It can be anything. But most of the time, in any given day, the daily life schedule, what anybody has, will bring stress to them. You just got to figure out a way not to allow it to affect you.
Right.
And turn it around, kind of what you were saying, reverse it.
Yeah.
We were talking about that a few months ago.
Yeah.
About how to reverse stress.
Yeah, make stress
work for you.
Yeah, make stress your friend, not your enemy. Let it be the thing that motivates you. Yep.
Yes. So in bridging the gaps, what is one way that you can let the listeners know, one way when bridging these gaps, what's the importance that most people are going to get out of it? Would it be togetherness? Would it be, like uniting? Will it be them bridging the gap? This is for them to start anew, to be better? Or bridging a gap, is it going to make them see that, change your life a little bit to have a different outcome than what they have? Not saying that, when I say better, I mean like, if you can't cook that good and now you're trying to be better, you got to figure out how to close the gap to make this food better. But if you just want to be better at driving or going out in the world, you got to, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. It better can be a different thing. I'm not just saying,
each person,
so it's for each person. So I know we talked about the importance of bridging the gap, but when people do that, what do you think they're going to really get out of it?
Well, normally it's a peace of mind. I know for me, it's definitely being able to enjoy the experience, your peace of mind. It helps your mental health. Like you said, it gets you out of that hyper mode. It's like, the survival mode.
Right.
Yes.
It's good for your health. Your heart.
Yeah,
literally.
Mental, physical.
Your blood pressure.
Yes. Ma'am. It's a killer. So, and then it like you said, it do create, honestly, you become more sociable. You become more of a breath of fresh air.
Yes.
I like that.
Your discernment's up.
Yes.
It's just things that really start to change. It's almost like back to that intimacy. It's like you starting to get intimate with the flows of life and just the peacefulness of life, internally and externally. That's what it's done for me.
That's what it's about, peace for me.
It is.
Sometimes I have to tell, when my grandbabies all be over, I'll be like, okay, now y'all disturbing my peace. It's time to sit down and rest your body. Rest your body. We need a little peace. And just don't talk for a few minutes. Rest your body. You try to keep them calm in a different way.
Yeah.
But what about you? What would you say about that?
Okay. Hit me with the question again.
What do you think people will get out of bridging gaps, closing, making themselves better, or uniting more? What do you think they will get out of it?
I think it clears up misunderstandings.
Yes. See, these are good answers. This is what I'm talking about. Y'all, go ahead, girl. Y'all know the number.
and I think in terms of misunderstanding, your mother would tell you to do something but never told you why. And so you either sneak and do it, or you're afraid of it your whole life and you don't even know why you're afraid. So I think that having like full conversations about why things are happening or why this is that, it matters. It matters. Now you might still go out and do the wrong thing, but at least you know what the real consequences of those things are. So
that's great.
Yeah.
I mean, you two gave some great
and then
answers.
It passes on wisdom.
Yes.
It does. It does.
Y'all
And
hear
I learned from the younger people. These young people are smarter than what we give them credit for. They just don't have the guidance, right?
What you said.
Yep.
What was that word he said earlier? I wrote it down here. Perishing from lack of knowledge.
Yes. We have some talent out here.
Yes,
these
indeed.
babies know a lot. Listen, they can get on a computer and do any and everything. Completely. They probably can run this whole media program and not even think about it. Be playing a game on the side, and we can't figure out how to open up our phone or turn it off, but we never sit and talk to them. We just say, oh, they're playing on the game. But these, like, babies are coding.
Yes, indeed.
You know what? I said this today, and this is a little off center from humans. In the last 3, maybe 5 years, and if you don't agree with me, call me and let me know. Animals, cats and dogs are evolving. I never really remember seeing dogs sit on their behind.
Hold on.
Talking.
Hold on.
Responding.
I follow on TikTok dogs that talk. They push buttons.
Yes.
And this dog,
I've seen that.
This dog, he has an attitude. When he gets mad at his owner, he'll go hit, bruh. Get mad at him and to tell him when it's time to feed the baby. Everything is evolving, and we're trying to operate in the same state. It's not going to work.
That's why we need. Look, you remember when they was talking about, the apes and the humans and the Neanderthals and all this stuff. And you look at these dogs. It's a cat. Me and one of my friends was sitting in my driveway this past summer, and this huge tomcat just walked by. Stood up on his back legs, and his head was so huge, he looked like a man. I got out to throw something at it. I got back in the car. I said, that's a man, girl. I ain't messing with that cat. And then he walked himself across the street staring at me.
Was he gray?
No, he was orange like Heathcliff.
Oh, okay, because if he was gray, that was Pona Tanisha cat down the street.
Oh, girl.
Nick, he ran the neighborhood for a while.
My goodness. This cat was huge. And I was like, so lately, these videos, I'm seeing animals, especially cats and dogs, doing things that I've never seen a cat and dog do.
Oh, y'all have to follow Oh My Milo. He's a black dog. He has black dog attitude too, baby. He tell people leave, go home when you tired of visitors. Oh, baby, these animals are
I've
smart.
seen them with this in the little pads, but I'm talking about they're using their own sounds.
Oh yeah,
they're saying, my dog used to say "mama."
Oh Lord, I ain't talking about Mr. Black.
No, Miss T used to say it. She be hollering, I be thinking it's the kids. I'm rah, 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 rah. I said, quit calling me. That dog was spoiled. Yeah, she was made me mad, but I love it. I miss them dogs. But
we digressing. But you have a crazy dog.
You know it, Mr. Black. You say. Get his paws on that door and do like that, open the door and go outside and do whatever he wants to do. But yeah, this one dog, the lady asked the dog a question and shook his head. And she was like, are you going to continue to stay mad at me? And then he shook his head. She said, well, why won't you come cuddle with me? He turned his whole head around and stared at the wall. She said, you're mad at me. Did like this other side of his eye. I was like, he's communicating.
Yes.
I mean, but then what do we expect? Don't we talk to our children that way?
Mm-hmm.
That's how they understand it, because
they're right there learning with them.
Like people who speak anything other than English. I'm like, when they talk to those kids in their language, those kids adapt to that language.
Yes.
So now we have these animals. Are they cloned?
No, they not clone, girl.
Are they?
They only clone Tyrone.
Half of the hood, the whole thing. We know now, though.
Man.
Reverse the curse.
But you know what? Speaking of that, I know this. We jump all over the place sometimes. Just,
100%.
Speaking of the clone stuff, don't nobody ever talk about baby X and baby Y no more. That cow that they cloned years and years ago. And then the USDA was saying they don't have to label meat anymore to say USDA.
Yes.
You don't know if you're eating clone meat or that's one reason why I stopped eating beef.
100%.
But then now chickens.
Yeah.
Man, it says
they're messing us up.
In the holy book, it says we're supposed to be eating fruits and berries and barley and wheat and stuff like that. But they decided, people made stuff and bread.
They're cross-cloning those too. We definitely have to pray over everything we
100%.
consume.
Everything.
We definitely
100%.
do.
Everything. Yeah. It's getting to that point.
It is. It is.
Yeah. But anyway, so
I was about to go into some political stuff.
I know. No. We don't want to. So where can viewers find any information about you at?
I'm on the social media. I'm on Facebook, Miss Literacy Made Fun, TikTok. I do a nice amount of little content on there, Miss Literacy Made Fun.
Okay.
Instagram, Miss Literacy Made Fun. LinkedIn. YouTube. I got like 1,000. Like not all. I'm not downloading all of them, but I did a whole lot of videos. So now I'm about to set my YouTube up.
Okay.
And get that. It's set up, but I got to get videos on there and get that moving. So for now, just the basic platforms. That's where I'm at.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I know we've shared where we're at and things like that, but one quick question for you. So the name, Mr. Literacy Made Fun. I kind of get it now that I've had a chance to hear a little bit about you and what you do and what you stand for. But I want to hear you tell the viewers and me. So, Mr. Literacy, I get made fun. Is because you're making literacy fun now, or fun to learn, or? Yeah,
because I know for me, learning was intimidating. Far as in school, and I'm like, man. And then once I can dig it. Once I created the card game, and I condensed this masterpiece together, and I knew it was going to be transformative. I came to the community, and everybody was like, it was kind of like on the back burner before I copyrighted, trademark, patent, did all that. Okay. And I was working with a lot of organizations that's showing love in the community, and they like, how can we make learning fun? Like people won't accept it. It's too much. So I'm like, boom, there it go. I'm gonna condense it. I already got the masterpiece.
Right.
That's transformative. Okay. So I'm just gonna go ahead and be the founder. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna found Specialized Alternative Entertainment, which is Literacy Made Fun. And I just went ahead and redid the card game, pieced it together, and just put it out there. So, literacy, the ability to read, write, comprehend, and communicate so that you get certain results in life. Right. And that might not even be articulated to a brother. They probably never, I'm a sister, one of us, we probably never even heard that be said. So I'm like, I want to be the representation of transformation. Okay. So that's why it's like, learning made fun. I'm gonna make it fun. I'm gonna make it exciting. Right. So it ain't just burdensome. Like, I ain't that smart. Back to the IQ versus the EQ. They don't even teach EQ in school because that's a whole nother level. Like I said, I don't want to get political, but that's why I wanted to bridge the gap there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well said. I like that. That is awesome. Tameka, tell us the name of your business and give me a little bit of background on how you came up with that name.
Yep, my business name is Just Keep Going Consulting LLC. It is my mantra. It is what keeps me motivated. It's what I use to help keep other people motivated. Right. My website is www.justkeepgoingllc.com. You'll find motivational blogs, what I'm doing next, how to contact me. But again, I just want to help women. I primarily deal with women, mid to middle-aged women who have, decided that they've lived their life, but this
empowering
is exactly
women,
what they want to do. They want to do more.
Understood.
So, yeah, I am there for that type of help and bridging that gap.
Amazing.
I like that.
Me, mine's a little complicated. My nickname was always Red. So I chose Red Alert because I'm Red alerting you all of things that's going on around us. RBT has always been my real nickname, which was Redbone Trouble. I'm not trouble at all. But RBT kind of hung on and stuck around on me, literally stuck on me. And my cousin here, my publicist, mentor and everything, she was saying to me that we want to manifest something different.
Right.
So I spoke with one of my other cousins, Serenity, and we got to playing with words. And I was like, wow, we both decided on Real Blessings Thrive.
Right.
So RBT now is Real Blessings Thrive. And that's what I do also, other than Red Alert, RBT, Snaps, and Chats, which is what I'm doing here. But Real Blessings Thrive is something I'm doing to display people's talent in the community, people that get overlooked, that people don't tend to, some of them may be a little shy to go to the big places.
Right.
So I'm just a little person here, and I'm just having people come out and, willingly get on the mic openly to do something. I'm going to be doing something at the Urban Cafe on Sunday, March the 9th from 4 to 6 p.m. It's a $5 cover charge, but it's BYOB, if you will. But I will have complimentary coffee and tea for those like myself who would like to indulge in that. And it will be a very speakeasy type of moment.
Yep.
Very good vibe in there. Come check me out.
Open mic poetry, open mic singing. People read a lot of their works, but yes. So going back to RBT, and I have my shirt on that says "Manifest That." Words matter, right? In literacy, you understand that your words matter, and if you're always calling to trouble, what do you attract, right? So, and that's why I love the Real Blessings Thrive, because it's just been compounding since you made that.
Goodness.
Yes, since you made that decision to.
Oh my goodness.
To choose the words that you want to manifest for yourself.
Yes, and manifesting words for yourself, how you see yourself is what you're displaying to people.
Absolutely.
So if you see yourself as I ain't good enough for that, then people gonna look at you that you're not good enough.
The energy,
and this is what Mr. Literacy Made Fun is saying. We have to change ourselves, our way of thinking, bridge these gaps, close these gaps.
Yes.
And start learning how to first do some self-love, stop perishing from lack of knowledge.
Absolutely.
I loved it when you said, I'm going to keep that. Redefine yourself. Walk in love, not in judgment. Don't walk in judgment, because we all could be judged.
Right.
And your sin may not be the same as someone else's, but it's still a sin. So you want to be careful. It basically, what's the word? Love thy neighbor.
Yes.
Right?
Absolutely.
So give us a call, 248-820-5053. We're here at Out of the Mud, Inc. with James Mayfield, the greatest Mayfield, and George F. Grundy II. They are out here doing great things in the city of Flint. So I am happy to have my guest on the show with me today, Tameka Thompson. And we have Mr. Literacy, a.k.a. Don. Or Don, a.k.a. Mr. Literacy, made fun. But that's okay. And I'm Terralisa McBride, of course. But I think I want to do one more little, let me see what my spirit tells me to drop down on y'all real quick. I saw something.
So Don, where can people purchase those cards?
Oh yeah, that's a great idea.
Well, right now I have to go link my website is up. I got the digital version of I got both versions now. Actually, I just did it. Yeah, I got the digital version, regular version, and I'll do an additional card game on there. It's a digital card game called Cakes and Kisses. It's the type of game that can make Valentine's Day any day. We ain't gonna just wait till one day. It's a hell of an experience. It's something that'll just blow people's mind. I just hope a player don't get a hold of it, because he gonna get hurt. It's one of them type of experiences, like it's unbelievable. And then I got all the custom merch and everything on there, and I got to download my ebooks on there. And it's interesting you saying what you do, because that's something that I want to select so many people and do that for them. I want to get them the whole setup.
Okay.
So it's on there. It's on my website. So I'm about to go, actually, when I get to the house tonight, I'm going to go connect the links on all my websites so that people can hit my website and order it. But other than that, anything they see, they're going to see my email. They're going to see my number. I'm accessible. I'm like Mike Jones. I'm saying my number, 810-858-8986. Call me. You know what I mean? So I can just send it to you.
Say it again like Mike Jones.
Yeah, my business model is priority over profit. So every one that they buy, I give one.
Okay.
Yeah, because it was good. Okay. It's phenomenal. I'm like, I want to give more.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I changed my business model.
Okay. We're giving our knowledge, our talent, our time, and our treasures.
Yes, ma'am.
And our treasures is our words.
Yes,
Our
ma'am.
treasures are our knowledge to give to you and asking you to drop some on us as
That's
well.
right.
Absolutely.
You
That's
know,
right.
we're united together
Yes.
out of the mud. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, indeed.
So the poem I want to drop before we end this show today, we still got a little bit, couple more minutes here, but this one's called Strength. And it matches today as well.
Okay.
Again, it's from the book that I really don't really promote, but I had some good stuff to say back then when I was a youngin'. This moment, this day, this time, I planned to get it right. There was this one time, on this one day, I thought of this one moment, I planned to get it right. Now about this day, about this time, about this moment, my plan to get it right has begun.
Hey, all
100%.
right.
That makes sense to me because y'all don't know where I was at when I wrote that.
Right.
I don't even know why I just opened the book to choose that again. But that just made my heart smile because I know where I was at when I thought I was going to make it that one moment.
Hey.
But I didn't. But I didn't give up.
You did not.
And then now here we are at this day,
Amen.
at this time. My moment has begun. Hey, thank you, Out of the Mud. Appreciate
100%.
that. Thank you, George F.
100%.
Grundy II. Thank you, James Mayfield, the greatest Mayfield. You guys have made a life passion of mine a reality.
Yes.
And I am blessed and not that much stressed anymore.
Hey,
And I'm
yeah.
loving to share all
right.
of these joys with these beautiful people.
Appreciate
And
y'all.
all of you out there
Love.
that chime in and listen, that share, like, and subscribe, that become one with the word.
Yes.
Manifest that ish.
That's right.
Mr. Literacy made fun.
Yes, indeed.
Real blessings thrive.
Peace and blessings.
RBT, you all, over and out. RBT snaps and chats, over and out.